Hello, everyone. Welcome back to graduates and welcome to some of the new faces in the group as well. And I see more popping in as we go, so that's great. All right, so today's conversation, we have a quick 30 minutes. We are talking about training plus coaching. And simply to address some of the inquiries that came in ahead of time, yes, this is recorded. It will be available on the YouTube channel. And when we're done with the conversation, I will email you a link to the recording. So that will be coming your way. And thanks for checking in on that. Okay, you did, several of you submit questions ahead of time. I think we've done a good job of building in responses to those questions as we go. There were a few questions that were more specific to becoming a coach, and we do free webinars on that. So I'm going to save those off. I will hang around at the end if you want to explore that further. We're going to focus here on the intent of this program, and that is to talk about training plus coaching. Our agenda today, we're going to clarify the difference between training and coaching. We'll talk about the benefits of training, the benefits of coaching, the benefits of the combination of the two, some tips for getting great results, and of course, we'll review resources and take time for additional Q&A at the end. Now, because I'm going to move quickly, we want to make sure we address things. So I'm going to ask for your help. Two things. One, I am monitoring the question panel as we go. So if you have a question, please type it in so that we make sure we address it. Or I love it when somebody raises their hand and says, yes, bring me in live so I can ask my question. It adds energy to the conversation. So if you're brave, please feel free to raise your hand and come on in that way as well. To start with our first piece, we said we are going to clarify the difference. So let's talk about a trainer. What does a trainer do? A trainer is there to develop talent. What does that mean? They assess the needs or the objectives. They design and deliver content, and they evaluate the results. If we continue that theme and go further, they're assessing training requirements specifically. They're designing processes and content specific to that. And then, of course, within the organization, they schedule and promote those training opportunities. A trainer, as an individual, is going to deliver training programs. They're going to be responsible for managing the budget. They're going to evaluate the results of their programs. What I love is that the Association for Talent Development very specifically has an updated model in terms of trainer competencies. And so this is available on their website, td.org. And when you look close, check out this circled item. Coaching is considered a core competency area for somebody in training. And that's an important thing to be aware of. When we shift gears and we start talking about coaching, so what is coaching? Coaching is partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. So the difference here is a trainer comes in as the subject matter expert and a coach comes in as a partner. And it's truly empowering and inspiring the individual to go where they want to go. A coach is there and they get their training, ethics, and agreements in place before they start their coaching. They co-create the coaching relationship with the client by being fully present and establishing trust. Again, very different than the role of a trainer. The coach listens completely and cumulatively. They use clear, direct, and respectful language, and they ask powerful questions. For those of you that have had training as a coach, I'm guessing this is sounding familiar. It's right in line with your competencies. So a coach creates awareness by challenging and expanding the thinking. They empower clients to design their own action steps. They empower the planning and the goal setting, and they serve as an accountability partner. So where we talked about training and the competencies of a trainer, they're coming in, they're assessing, they're analyzing, they're making the call on what training is appropriate. They're planning it, they're delivering it, they're evaluating it. And then we saw that coaching is a competency for trainers. The way it's a competency speaks to what some of these competencies are. So specifically, when we talk about a coach, if you're a member of the ICF, which really is the basic gold standard, the minimum is ICF membership to be a coach, or if you're beyond that and moved into being credentialed, you're committed to practicing the ICF core competencies and accountability to the code of ethics. So now let's go through the competencies again and think about how they apply in the training role. So when we say setting the foundation, meeting our ethical guidelines and establishing the agreement, in a training environment, of course, the ethical guidelines make sense. Things like the acceptance, the equal treatment, the being very clear and transparent in terms of what the role is and our purpose and function. It makes sense. Establishing the coaching agreement. How does that come into training? Well, in training, we let people know, hey, this is the focus of the training program. These are the learning objectives of this training. That's very much in keeping with establishing a coaching agreement. It's in a different environment and a different role, and it's got a parallel. When we talk about co-creating the relationship, a coach is focused on establishing trust and intimacy and being truly present to the client. The intention of the coach there is so that the client trusts the coach and is comfortable really opening up and exploring. What's the parallel in training? Well, when you have a room full of people who are there for a training program or a group online there for a training program, they want to know that their trainer has expertise. They want to trust in the information that the trainer is delivering. So a trainer is demonstrating their credibility. It's similar in concept if you just read the words. The application is very different because in training, the focus is on the trainer being the expert. In coaching, the focus is on the client being the expert. In both cases, you do want to develop a level of trust and you do want to be present to who's there with you. In coaching, we have competencies around communication, our listening, our questioning, being clear and direct. And of course, those competencies absolutely make sense in a training environment as well. In coaching, we talk about facilitating learning and results. Sounds a lot like training too. So we're talking about creating awareness. Well, training, yes, you want the new information out there. Where we take it to a different level, in a training program, the intention is to provide information, to develop skill sets, to have tools and techniques for doing it, with the idea of them taking that information and incorporating it in their day-to-day activity. Where it's different with coaching is we take that to the next level. And it's the coach really asking the client, how are you applying this information and using it? And being there as an accountability partner. So there's parallels and there's differences. To clarify the difference, the trainer is focused on workplace productivity, on increasing knowledge or skills. The coach is focused on empowering an individual to discover and maximize their own personal and professional potential. The trainer has their work focused on organizational objectives and they report to the organization. A coach is focused completely on the individual client and on empowering that individual client. What are the benefits of training? I went and looked it up online. Free Management Library. Here's what they said. Increased job satisfaction, morale, and motivation. Increased efficiencies and capacity for technologies and methods. Reduced employee turnover. Risk management. They talked about training for ethics, sexual harassment, diversity. So they have more on these topics, hence the reason for sharing that link with you if you want to check it out yourself and get the additional detail of the information. Another resource that I found on the benefits of training is a site called Skills and Employment. And there they talked about improving business performance, which in turn means the profit for the business, and staff morale. The staff acquires new skills, increasing their contribution. They're upskilled to do new and different tasks. And the staff sees that the business values them because the business invested in training them. Benefits of a training program. HR Magazine said companies that invest a mere $1,500 per employee annually on development programs earn 24% more in profit than organizations that do not invest in training. ATD, employees who are well trained bring in an average of 218% more income than employees who work for organizations with less aggressive and comprehensive training approaches. So it's clear that training has a bottom line impact. Tremendous, tremendous value. Okay, so now let's dig into the benefits of coaching. The Institute of Coaching said, coaching, it helps establish and take action toward achieving goals. More self-reliant people, plus more job and life satisfaction. They contribute more effectively to both the team and to the organization. They take greater responsibility and have accountability. And this is a big one, they communicate more effectively. When I went to workplace psychology, here are the benefits they shared. Coaching gives you improved learning. Now, isn't that interesting? Because we talk about training as that learning environment. Coaching takes it to a deeper level. One of the phrases I've sometimes used is coaching is advanced development for advanced results. So it takes that training to the next level in terms of the learning. It improves performance. It improves productivity. Coaching improves relationships and quality of life. When you have coaching in the workplace, you get more creative ideas, greater flexibility, and adaptability to change. You have a more motivated staff, and it supports culture change in the organization. If we summarize the benefits of coaching, ICF coaches help their clients improve their lives, their relationships, and business performance. So it's all encompassing. ATD, and I love this. I thought about cutting it back and putting less on the screen, and it was all so great. I just couldn't edit it. So I hope you can bear with me on that. ATD on their website said coaching can help by providing much needed support and strategies for not only surviving, but thriving under difficult circumstances. That was in response to the paragraph before on the website, and I hope you check this out. They were talking about how in today's world we're doing more with less. People in the workplace are overwhelmed. There's constant change, very fast. I'm sure many of you have heard of what we call a VUCA environment. So very significant. It went on to say coaching is a personalized process, provides clarity on what success will look like, understanding obstacles and barriers that might get in the way, and then specific actions to lead to that positive outcome. Through active listening and powerful questioning that we do as coaches, we help the coachee maximize their potential and move toward a preferred future. That's powerful, and it's exciting to see that explanation on a website that's all about training and talent development. It goes back to them seeing coaching as being one of the core competencies. Now, what are the benefits of training plus coaching? So let's explore that. For a trainer, coaching is a core competency, and coaching skills do enhance their training. For a coach, we're empowering individuals who are trainers or serving the people they're serving professionally in these roles. A coach is going to support individuals in the meaning and the application of what they learned in the training. It is a note here, very important to identify which role you're using. One of the articles that I put out is called The Paradox of Coaching. And the paradox of coaching is that coaching as a skill set is something that can be used in many roles. You use coaching skills when you're training, leading, managing. We use coaching skills in HR. We use coaching skills with our families. At the same time, training, managing, supervising, those are not skills that come into the coaching space. So it's important to make sure that you're very clear on which role is in play and ensure the separation of these roles. More. Coaching competencies equal coaching as a skill set, and coaching as a skill set is a competency in the training role. And the reason for that is it's a skill that adds value when you're training, because we apply those coaching skills in the training environment. For those of you that are trainers, your awareness that listening to what people are saying, asking them questions to engage them in the process, all of that is part of how coaching is used in the training environment. Now, I love the statistics. Some of you have probably seen me share this one before. When you have training, you increase productivity by 22.4%. That's a big number. When you do training plus coaching, your combination, you get an 88% productivity gain. 4 times the impact because you combined the two of them. That's powerful and exciting. So let's move into tips. How do you get results? This one came from Inc. And here's what they said. When you're training, teach skills, not traits. Teach the appropriate skill. This is where it comes to really assessing ahead of time what's going to be important. Reinforce and support the skill. And of course, that's where coaching comes in and helps. Implement skill-based metrics. And that speaks to evaluating your outcomes. And they say consistently measure the progress of what's happening as a result of the training. Now, in terms of coaching, how do you get results? So first off, it starts with preparing for the role. And I'm going to say this overlaps with training as well. If you're going to be a trainer, there's a lot of prep that goes into being a trainer. It's learning how to be an effective trainer, and it's learning the content. Very similar in coaching. Now, what does the preparation include for a coach? Coach-specific training. And it's funny, we do consistently get questions, hey, do I really have to get trained to be a coach? And the answer is, what do you think? Of course, any professional out there is going to be trained to serve in that role. So coach training makes sense. Now, at a bare minimum, when you're putting yourself out there as a professional, you want to be a member of the ICF, or at least working toward the ICF membership. Some of you did ask about that. ICF requires 60 hours of training, and we do that in 2 steps. Step 1 is the professional coach. Step 2 is the master, to get you to that level. When you're really growing as a coach, you're going to build toward an ICF credential. Having your code of ethics in place is important. Now, for trainers, you're typically inside of an organization and working underneath the organizational code of ethics. As a coach, there is a code of ethics specific to your role when coaching. And then, of course, the 11 core competencies. So that's our prep. In terms of getting results, I went to the International Coach Federation website. And here's what I found. To be a great coach: preparedness, active listening, developing an outcome or a vision for the client. And that's where we're asking them what they want, what their desired outcome is of the work that we're doing with them. Demonstrating genuine interest in and curiosity about the client and what it is they want. The support, being their partner and working with them. Good questioning. And then, of course, in that article, they talked about some of the challenges that come up. So the link is here on your screen. I invite you to go to their website and check it out. It's called What Makes a Great Coach, and they give you a full description on each of these points. So as far as getting results, the combination of the two is incredibly powerful. You maximize your training, and that's the preparation of the trainer. First, the preparation on how to train effectively. There are competencies available for how to be a great trainer. Knowing that, learning your competencies, developing yourself with that skill set. Then, of course, when you're training, you are the subject matter expert. So maximizing your training means really knowing your stuff. When you set up a training program, you're analyzing ahead of time. What is the need? What is the objective of this? How are we going to meet that? And what's the most effective way to deliver it? Taking the time to plan and prepare for your training makes it much easier to have a fabulous training program when you deliver the training. And then, of course, include coaching. And when you're including your coaching, we're talking about including coaching in a number of different ways. So first off, include coaching. Many times in preparing for your training and setting things up, having a coach really helps create awareness for the trainer in terms of content, approach, etc. Include coaching skills while you're delivering your training, because the coaching skills do enhance everything you do as a trainer. Above and beyond that, include coaching after the training program. Back to that research and that statistic. So what does that mean? When people go to a training program and after the training program you have group sessions and you say, okay, so what did you learn from the training? How are you applying that? How's that working? What do you want to adjust? What else did you learn? What else do you want to do with this information? And exploring that and having the accountability to the follow through. It keeps the information fresh in the minds of the participants. It gives them an opportunity to really think through and own how they're applying the information. And coaching is going to support them so they maximize their training, so they maximize their own professional and personal growth. It's a powerful combination. Okay. What are the resources available to you? So, of course, you've got the International Coach Federation, the Center for Coaching Solutions, and the Center for Coaching Certification. So specifically, the International Coach Federation is at coachfederation.org. And as I'm saying this, I'm realizing, gosh, so important for me to have said, check out the Association for Talent Development as well. Their website is td.org. And that's another incredible resource for you. That one is focused on your training side of the house. That's where the competency model comes from for trainers. Your next resource is the Center for Coaching Certification. This is where you have the opportunity to gain the training to be a coach and to really develop the skill set and the competencies. And then the Center for Coaching Solutions, here to partner with you in terms of providing coaches, collaborating on coaching programs and coaching culture, and connecting with you if you want internal training for your coaching. Additional resources for you include the blogs. There's a couple blogs every week for you. The books that we publish, a new one every year. Free webinars just like this one. We're available to you as a quick check. If you just call, email, you got a quick question. And we're also available for outsourcing, providing you with consulting to start or run a coaching program, to evaluate a coaching program. We're available to provide training, and we're also available to provide coaches. The good news is we have over 1,000 graduates of the training programs, and they are an incredibly talented group of people, and offering their services simply makes sense. So we're here to collaborate with you on that as well. So for the blog, it's coachingblog.coachcert.com. The books that we offer are available on Amazon. You can check them out on our website as well. A new one every year. The content is written by graduates of the program, and you can see their expertise. Now, a really fun one is the very first book includes a chapter on the combination of coaching and training, and that's right in Coaching Perspectives 1, the first book. So check that out for sure. We also do webinars like this each month. Make sure you're on our newsletter list for that. I mentioned that we're available. So at the end, I'm going to give you my email, my phone number. Feel free to call or email. In terms of the outsourcing, the consulting, the training, and the coaching, we've got a team available to you and supporting you, and they'll have a conversation with you. Hey, how are you going to co-create the solution based on what your objectives are? So what's the next step for you at this point? Well, I'm going to ask you, what did you get out of the conversation today, and how are you going to apply it? That's a huge next step. Above and beyond that, we are available to you. So for those of you that are here, something that we offer is you want to have a conversation and take this content further, I'm available to you for that. As a matter of fact, when I email you the link to this recording, I will say right in there, hey, if you want to schedule a free time, let me know by replying to my email. I will send you a link to my calendar and you can schedule that time. Next for you, of course, is choosing the resources that best support you, planning your own process, implementing your strategies so that you achieve the results that you want. I do, of course, again, want to invite all of you to jump in with whatever questions you have. As I mentioned, I'm happy to stay on extra and answer additional questions. Getting notes, I realize some of you scheduled the immediate time. So glad to hear this was helpful. And thank you for sharing those comments in the question panel. Several of you are saying it was really helpful. So thank you so much for that input. It seems from what I'm seeing that you're complete in terms of questions. So I'm getting just the positive feedback, and I want to come right back at you with that. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time and your participation today. Here is my contact information. Happy to be of further service. And yes, I will get the email out to you. So thank you, everybody, and make it a great day.